Right, what's going on, guys, and hope you're all fine. So, we're going to look at the Android 7.0 Nougat for the Galaxy Tab S2 8.0 LTE variant, okay? That is the 8-inch Tab S2, which runs the LTE, basically where you can slot in your SIM card and make calls with it. Right, so let's just get started, and just so as to prove everything to you, we can look at device, and here it is, SMT715. That is the 8.0. And software information, yes, we do have Nougat right over here. Okay. So, as you can also see, it does run the April security patch here. It's April 1st. And, yeah, we have the name, the Galaxy Tab S2, which I never touch. Okay. Alright, so what can we say about the Nougat? Let's make a full in-depth review. Alright, so first things first, we're starting with the most obvious. As you can see right on top here, we have a little changes. There is quite some improvements. The icon, the status bar layout is quite much compressed and polished. It wasn't like the weird looking marshmallow whereby the battery was kind of bigger and the small reader, the percentage of the battery was extra tiny. It's just now all leveled and just much cleaner now. Just so you see it better. Yeah, as you can see, it's much cleaner. It's much beautiful, more refined. Now, let's start with the most obvious. Here we are. The notification shade. So what can we say about it? It's basically much polished. Everything just looks new. It feels like you got a new tablet. And we look at the entire settings all over here. What are the changes you see? So there is the user interface. You can change to as guests, to as yourself. And you can even add users if you want. That's awesome. You can also go to the settings menu with the press of this little button here, right here on top, right. And also you also have the option to do a little bit of customization. So let's start with button order. Yeah, it's basically kind of like, you don't need a special application, a special function. You just put it down here and voila, it's gone. If you need it back, you just tap and hold and then drag it. Yep, drag it just here. That should be pretty much how it works. Okay, now we also look and we have the grid function. We have the 4x3, which is much cleaner and simpler, but and we have the 5x3, which is personally my favorite. And yeah, we have the little search bar here. For example, you want to type something. Let's just set for Mario Run, and it's going to give you recommendations here from the Galaxy apps and the Play Store. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You can tap from here and then just basically run the application. Right, so what else? Right, so everything is just much newer and polished. And then there is the Wi-Fi. There's the blue light filter just right here. It kind of works like blue light. It's just a reading mode. It's gives the little bit of yellow for comfortable eye reading. And also you have the little cat game you find on the Android Easter egg. You put some food down, treats, fish, chicken, anything, and you feed your cat. Maybe a few minutes later, as the review goes on, we could see a cat. Okay, right. And there are new additions to this. For example, we have secure folder, which is basically to keep your private stuff, private pictures, your messages, anything basically from prying eyes. That's a very cool new feature. And also, let's just take a quick look at how these functions work. Okay, so we have basically ways. As you can see, it is separated by this little line in between the icon and then the function, the writing function, right? So for example, if you want things very simple, you can just tap on it to activate vibrate, to activate mute, and to activate sound, okay? Or if you want to do it the more classy way, you can just tap down here and then it would give you the function. So you can go to vibrate, and there is a new function here whereby you can mute it for temporarily 1 hour and just go to sound. Right, so there is now the more, opened and much simpler, where it's much opened and simpler. You can just tap the down the written icon below the icon down here, and then you get more options, okay? All right, or if you'd like to go by the old fashioned way, the traditional Samsung way, you tap and hold, and bingo, there you are. It takes you straight to the settings. Right, so what else are the changes here? Well, the layout has changed. Everything looks much simpler and polished. Animation is very gorgeous. It's kind of like a 60 FPS animation, much better and preferable than the Marshmallow. I prefer this one much more. It's so beautiful. And we also look at the brightness slider. So we have the brightness, and now instead of getting the usual brightness without this little naggy kind of menu, Nougat now tells you that it's too much and it can cause eye strain and increase battery consumption. Yeah, it's kind of like that always. Yeah, it happens always like that, and yeah, like that. Right, so let's also look at the auto brightness. If you want to adjust auto brightness, you just simply tap here, auto brightness to adjust, and like that. Right, now there is one little function here. This function right down here, show control on top. Well, basically, you know about this. The tablet has this feature. So when you swipe down, you see the ability to, adjust the brightness slider right here, right? If you do not want it there, and you want to do the double, swipe down, you can just disable it. And then when you swipe from now on, you do not see it there. It goes. Bingo as magic. And don't you worry, if you lose it, you happen to lose it and you want it back there, it's simple. Just tap this icon and then right on there and you have it. Simple as that. Right, so that's basically it for here. This function doesn't actually do much. It's just right there, not like Jelly Bean. Cool. Alright, so let's just look at the entire user interface. The interface is much polished. I really like how it looks now. It's very beautiful. The music player has been revamped. Everything looks just so sharp. Everything just looks so very pretty. Then there is this sound alive, the sound effects, which I kind of have a little bit of a pain here. Well, simply because there was in the older version, that's Lollipop and Marshmallow, there was the effect to make the audio crystal clear. But unfortunately, we do not see it in this update, and I do not understand why it's not there in the first place. I really do that Samsung releases updates to fix this little issue, so at least they could add the UHQ upscaler, or maybe the clarity effects like we find on the S6 and the flagship phones, S6, S7, S8, and basically the S5, yeah, and all those flagships, right. But there is the way to adjust it. Maybe adjust it to your, to your taste, to your preferences. That's okay. There is also the adapt sound, where you can switch it on from up here, just for a more louder and clearer audio. And then there is the surround, there's the YouTube, the Tube Amp Pro, and then the concert hall systems. Yeah, which work very fine when you're using the two speakers. Okay, so everything is much polished. Everything is just new. The new weather app is just so beautiful. Everything is just much gorgeous now. Right. So, where do we start off? Right. So here is the surprise, guys. Here is where the surprise starts from. The amazement. Watch this. the app now has a very cool feature. Just look at it. It's so much beautiful. I really like how it looks. The blurry effect, you never found that in the Marshmallow. It's so much cleaner, and there is this search bar right on top, right on top here, this little search bar thing, and there is the ability to edit, do basically any stuff you want to sort it out, and then you can also do your sorting according to alphabetica, your preferences. And then there is also the search app. Just it works exactly like this little search bar on top here. It's the same function. Basically, you search for anything you want. It gives you preferences. So if, for example, we want to type Mario, yeah, viewing Galaxy apps, viewing Play Store, it's basically the same thing. And if you're lucky, yes, it comes. So in the Galaxy apps, it gives you recommendations, things that looks kind of like Mario, like that. It's pretty useful. I like it a lot. And you can also do the voice search right up here. Right, so the update is on point. So let's just start by looking at some basic apps, okay? So let's look at the phone app. The phone dialer is much simpler and more revamped. Everything just looks so beautiful, so new. Yep, that's me. Right, so everything just looks really cool. It's just, I like it. And there is a way to adjust your contacts here. You can also search for your friends and family right here. And oh, by the way, look at the keyboard. It's just so much better, and also very beautiful right here. Right, so yeah, that's pretty much it. This is our keyboard here, and also there is the phone dialer, and let's try calling a simple number so you could see the cool effects. Right, so this is how it looks basically. Very simple and very beautiful. Right, and yeah, that's how the phone dialer looks like. Nothing so much, but it's much clean. Oh dear, okay, it's crashed for some reason. Okay, much better. All right, so sorry about the crash. I believe it is the this recorder I'm using up here. I have tuned it to maximum 2K, so just for the quality, it's really draining performance and all that. Okay, so the contacts app also looks much simpler. Everything looks very beautiful. You tap here to add your contacts. You can make a call. You can also swipe to message. You can also hold these alphabetical order keys here. It works very well. And well, the same thing as the phone search. You can just search for what you want, and yeah, all that. Right, so the messaging app is also kind of the same thing. Nothing so special about it. Yeah, so it's basically the same old thing you see right here. So for example, yeah, that's pretty much that's it. Right. Also there is let's look at the messenger just for a minute, and then there is the tap to compose and all that. Yeah, just really simplified. You can search right on top there. Right, and then there is also the browser app, which is much more, you know, simplified and unique, and everything is just right here for you. Okay, and yeah, there is also the helpful galleries app, which is very beautifully done. Everything is just uniquely cool. Everything is just nice, and there is also the addition of the trash bin you'd find on the S7. It deletes after 15 days automatically. Yeah, so looking at the new UI, there is just something. There's just something that would like to just, you know, check about, right? So looking at this new UI, let's just give me a minute. The camera UI is much more simplified, and yeah, that's the pen. So that's my kind of felt pen. Terribly sorry about it. It's kind of you know, really and dirty. This is my felt pen I use for the tablet, and yeah, it's just pretty much the same thing. Tap, and then there is to shoot, and then there is different kinds of modes you can choose from, selective, and also there is the new addition, the floating camera app, like you'd find on the new A series and the S8. Right, and then there is the new addition whereby you can just swipe up to get the selfie mode, and then swipe up to get the major camera mode. Right, so that was the camera. Yeah, we have already seen the music, and let's just look at the video app. Video app is very simplified, much better. Here's the calculator up. Well, 8 times 8, 64, kind of knew that. Alright, calculator up, it's very simplified too. Then we have the clock app. Clock app is much polished now. I really like it. You have the timer, the stopwatch, the alarm, and then the wall clock. You want to add a city. Well, basically that's it. You want to add a city. Bingo, there you are. You just tap one of these, for example, and then just add. Very easy. Yes, and then we also have my files. My files is basically revamped. You can search for anything you want here, anything you want. So maybe a song, let's say Backstreet Boys, which is one of my favorite collections. Backstreet Boys. Backstreet Boys. Nope. Okay. No, that is strange. This tablet is really giving me the attitude. Okay, so yeah, basically that's the idea. You can just search for it right here. You can manage the storage usage, which will take you just straight to the device maintenance. That'll be what I'll show you later. You can manage your internal storage, and the SD card, basically the same old thing. Right, and yeah. So we have the files, we have the memo, nothing special. We have the calendar, which is much cleaner. It's much better. It's much beautiful. I like that. You can add events, look at the time, look at the weather, sorry, anything at all. Then we have the the email app, which is much polished. Everything is just very new. Everything is really clean here. Then there is the side sync, and oh yeah, the email app, I just really like the way it looks. It's very beautiful. Yeah, you can search like you do. Basically the search is just primarily everything. It's always there. And there is the side sync app, where you can synchronize your phone to the tablet and control it, manually from this big guy, this little guy here, right? So there is the new Galaxy apps, and nothing much. Everything is just pretty much the same thing here. Then we have the S Note, which I downloaded. You can download it at your free time. It's a third-party app from Samsung, very good one there. There's the Sound Camp, which I downloaded, Smart Switch, and there is the Music Maker, which I downloaded. Oh, and look at what we have here. There is a tiger. I said a tiger. I named the cat a tiger. So yeah, a cat is here. The cat is here. It did eat the food we left him, so let me just leave the bits, and then you just tap, and then cats you catch, and yeah, you can name them and all that. Right, so Track ID is a third-party app from Sony. I love music, so I love searching for music, so as to know the kind of songs I like. Then there is the new Samsung Notes app. Basically, it works just like the Memo. I preferably use it a lot more than the Memo. Then there is the new addition. This is the new feature. It's called the Game Launcher app. So, this is the feature you saw on the flagship phones. Basically, it's like this. It gets games. It puts full priority to games, and when you to have a call or a message, it just shuts it off so that you get immersed into your game. very awesome app. Game launcher is awesome, and then the secure folder, which I showed you right from here, the new addition. Also, because of the compatibility now to 7.0, you can also add secure folder. And yes, as you can see now, the file box now is much more, you know, simplified. It's much transparent. It's very beautiful. You can change the colors from here. Oh, well, preferably pick any color you like. Well, I'll choose white for now. Right, so it's basically for the same thing. You can edit it, just move, delete anything, or add basically anything. And then the new also the new icons now are much rounded, instead of that hideously ugly icon bars you see on the Marshmallow. You see these much better looking rounded icons. And I also kind of like the white blend to it. It's very beautiful. It just gives that look, which is very awesome. I really like that. Okay, so let's go to settings quickly. So looking at the settings, also you can remember, you can search for anything you are looking for. So for example, we want reset, and you just tap it, and yeah, basically it takes you to reset function. It's very easy here. Also you can just hold this line here and then just adjust how you want the size to be. The settings bar is much more polished. It's much simplified. I really like it than the cartoony look for the previous TouchWiz look. So yeah, it's the same thing here. You can tap here to on something or off something. You can just tap here to show more functions. Well, basically that's the 10 over here, right? So there is the sound and vibration. Right, so there is the sound function also right here. Quite sorry for the pause there. Yeah, so basically you can control all your sound and effects here. And there is the notification here. Then there is the display, where you can do some adjustments over here, and basically you can adjust it to look very small or very huge. And it works, for example, let's just give an example here. For example, if you want something horrendously ugly, like huge, you can do it to huge and it looks like this. So basically it fits into the screen, which in some cases is actually not a bad try. Or you can just make it yeah, it takes time, that's a problem there. Or you can make it just horrendously tiny, which is so weird, just so tiny, and it looks kind of like what you found on the Marshmallow. But I really prefer this one much more. Yeah, this one is much preferable. It takes a lot of performance when you're adjusting this. And yes, you can also adjust your icon with frames. I like the icon with frames, so personally I'll not touch that. You can adjust your screen brightness here, all that. And you can adjust the mode you like. I like AMOLED cinema. Oh there. Okay, and on the status bar you can give extra functions, show recents only, or show battery percentages. You can do all that just here. Right, and well, basically you can do anything, trigger anything right here. And I also forgot, you can change you can change the font size right here, so default or Samsung's. Right, so there is the addition to change your wallpaper from here. It doesn't come with much. Then there is the advanced features right here, and then there is the accessory trigger if you have a book cover. Then there is the then there is the game feature right here. Then there's the multi-window, which I will show you shortly. And then there is the new addition here, the device management. So basically what is it? It is the smart manager you found on your on the tablet previously. So you can just tap to optimize everything. You can do it manually, trigger the RAM memory to clean caches, or you can also work with the storage, and you can also give the device security, manage your battery to mid and max. That's ultra power saving and power saving mode. You can look at your battery percentages, how it performs very well, it drains, how it goes, and everything. Right. So also let's go on there. Right, so we have the apps right here, then there is the controls right here for the lock screen and the security. Then this is where you can do your account, and then you have the Google settings you found since, well, basically Android started. Then there's accessibility to get more power and more functions from your tablet. There's the general management, so just the languages and everything. Well, then there's the software updates, where you can find updates for your software, and there's the user manual, and there is the developer options if you want a little Go from your tablet, a little more Go juice from your tablet. Yeah, and there is about device. Right, so before I end this video, I would like us to look at two cool UI changes. So let's look at the multi-window. So when you tap the multitasking button, it looks so much more refined and polished. I like it personally. It is much better, and it is less laggy. It lags a little bit because of the video recorder I'm using, the screen recorder I'm using. It takes a lot of performance. So yeah, it's much more refined. It's just very beautiful. It's polished, and it's less laggy than the marshmallow update you found on the previous generation there. And also when you look at this, when you hold the power button, it's much better now. It's blurry, so you just tap to power off, and then you tap to basically restart. I like the blur effect. Basically, it's very beautiful, much cordial, just like you'd find here. Well, I really like how it looks now, much better and very beautiful. Now to the multitasking, basically you hold this up here, and then you hold like that, so you can run two apps perhaps simultaneously, basically like that. Very easy. You can adjust the size you want on it. So yeah, let's just adjust this like this, and then just adjust, yeah, and you can just tap and then minimize it basically, yeah, like that. So you can be working with this at the same time, right? And then there is also a much better option, and there is a new feature added whereby when you tap, you tap twice, it brings you the app that was following. Right, so yes, let's just do this again. Hold this, sorry, hold this, okay, yeah, we can just tap and hold this. Okay, all right, let's just tap this. Okay, much better. And then let's just use this as our nope, I guess you can't use this. Okay, it's kind of new to me. Right, so let's multitask with the clock. Still no. Okay, let me show you something just momentarily. Okay, so you can multitask with this. Okay, and then so let's just do what we did earlier. I multitasked with the calendar. Right, so it was like that. So when you hit the home button, it minimizes, and then it goes right here. Much better. You tap, and then you have it back here. Very simple and easy to use. So if you simply do not want it, there is a new way. Just scroll fully down, and then it brings it back here. So yeah, that's basically how the multitasking is. Quite sorry for the lag. It's really the screen recorder that is causing all this. Right, so, and by the way, about the icons, some of you would probably be asking, how did you get these icons? Well, basically I'm in love with the S8 new icons, so I downloaded an APK part from Sam Mobile or APK Mobile. You can do it. They work perfectly fine. They make calls, they do everything. It's just very good. Right, so this ends the video. And let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions, anything at all you want to know, or any video you'd like me to check out. I'll do that, and have a nice one, guys. See ya.